All right. Welcome to our continuing education for Tuesday. Today is November 30th, the last day of November. Oh my gosh, where is the year been going? It's totally crazy. So tonight I get to talk about Blue Tansy. Now, Blue Tansy is something you wouldn't think about because it's totally, the flower is not blue. So why does it come out blue? And then also, why is it so dang expensive? There's a reason. We're going to go into that. And then it's been in some of our blends in the past, in doTERRA's blends, but they recently brought it to us a couple of years ago as a single oil. So I'm Diana Hinkle. I'm so happy to have you here, and I'm so glad that I can be here tonight because today has been a very different day. I haven't brushed my hair, I haven't done anything, so I am exactly how I came through the door. Well, granted, I had it up on my head. So to let you know, I'm not here to treat, cure, or diagnose anything. I'm here to give you a lot of good information and let you decipher what you want to learn and how you want to use this information that I give you. So Blue Tansy, actually, when it came out as a single, I was like, well, no wonder I like the blend so much, because I loved the smell of this particular essential oil. I was just like, oh my gosh, I could just sit there and smell it all day long. I mean, seriously. But what I really think fondly about, and it's one of those that if you don't open the oil, it's one of those sticky ones like syrup, trying to open up the syrup bottle and you can't get it open. Okay, that's what happens if you don't open it all the time. But I don't know if you can see this or not, but can you see how dark that is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's just like ink. Seriously, like ink. So there you go. There's my ink spot. It is totally dark. Okay, and I love the aroma. Now, why is it blue? And then why? It's a yellow flower. So you're kind of familiar with like our pomeroy, or the yarrow, I should say, not palm, yarrow. Yarrow is a flower, okay, and it's a yellow flower. See, now I've got it all over my finger. It looks like it's like I got a big bruise on my finger. I tell people, it's like, if you're going to put it on your skin or your face, don't just go right out and see people, because people will think that someone's been beating on you. You don't want that. So anyway, I'm going to do that because it's really good for the skin. So palm, or your yarrow, is very good. It's a yellow, but the constituents that it has in there, it's an anti-inflammatory, but it has a it's called, let me get it out here right, because I always have a problem with it. It's like a monoterpene, and they put it in that classification, but it's not a monoterpene really. It's a chamaeulazine. Chamaeulazine. It's CHAMAEULANE. Chamaeulane. I'll get it right. I'll double check myself. But that has the effects of, that gives us that blue tint, part of that, because of the constituents with inside that flower. That's where we get the blue from. It was also something that was discovered many years ago. So it's been very popular ingredients for like anti-aging cosmetics. They use that in there. Okay, this is part of the Blue Tansy. But because it was so popular, they almost brought it to extinction. Most of the Blue Tansy comes out of Morocco. And it's also something that is now they've realized that well, pretty much in the wild it was almost deprived and extinct, but now they've recultivated it and they've also created it so that it's not so extinct. But this is the reason for Blue Tansy being expensive, a little more on the expensive side, because there's not as much of it out there, and it's such a sought after essential oil. And so it's not just in skincare now that essential oils are very popular. This is another reason for Blue Tansy being a little more on the spendy side. So if we think about that, as time progresses, preferably or hopefully, the price point will come down a little bit more. So this is something too to really think about, that when you do go anywhere and you're looking at Blue Tansy or any other oil that you know should be a little on the spendy side, if it's not, buyer beware. Because just because the bottle says it's 100% doesn't mean that is really, really all you're getting. You might get something more. Okay. So yeah, so it's a Mediterranean plant. A lot of people love to have this plant in their garden areas or their flower beds. I happen to know a gentleman up in Bonnie Lake that he's all about the trees and different things of this nature, and so he has a lot of it growing at his place. In fact, he actually did a class where we got to smell an oil. This was all about the wood oils, and then we got to go around his property. So this is that one, and he gave us the information about the trees. I'm like, that was awesome. It's like, I want you to do that again this summer when we can be out in the, when it's not raining on us. Oh gosh. So so with the supplies increasing, it's like a 2-ounce bottle of Blue Tansy can be well over $100. Okay, now when we look at doTERRA's Blue Tansy, it's like $125 if you have a wholesale membership. It's 25% more if you don't. So it's one of those particular oils that we don't use it all the time, and it's a great oil to blend with other oils, especially if you're using any kind of cosmetics, or you can add a few drops into the cosmetic line that you like and use it that way. Or if a lotion, you don't have to put it on your face. You can put it on your neck, you can put it on your pulse points here, or you can just put it on you. So it's great to be added to a lotion and use it that way. So it's a very high herbal fragrance. I think it's to myself, I think it's a sweet herbal, and that's because it's got a high camphor content in there, and camphor is spelled CAMPHOR. So if you've ever smelt sage, for instance, it's kind of along those lines. Sage is more of a sweeter smelling spice, which I even like sage too. So it's kind of along those lines. So, and let me get back to, I think, where was it? I want to double check my spelling for you on. Okay. It's high in chamazuline. I forgot the Z. So it's CHAMAZULENE. Okay. So it's very soothing. It's another way of being soothing to the skin. Okay. And your mind, for calming the mind. So this is an option for some people to put in a diffuser, maybe with a couple other ones. So if someone's battling anxiety, depression, any of those, then think about using Blue Tansy along with something invigorating like wintergreen or peppermint. Those are ones that you can do. So our Deep Blue rub, those products have Blue Tansy in there. So this is why our Deep Blue has that blue tint to it. Or well, by the time it's all together, it's like more of a greenish, but it is a blue tint. That's why. It's because of the Blue Tansy. That's what makes it that color.
And which did you combine it with? The Blue Tansy with the wintergreen?
You can do a wintergreen. You can do a peppermint. Oh, what are some other goods that you might want? I mean, it literally could be with anything. But I'm just thinking, so off the top of my head, those definitely are ones that you could put together with it. Yeah. So if you look at doTERRA's products, and they're kind of color coordinated, meaning that, so like this is a blue label, okay? See how that blue behind there? The ones that will go together very well are going to be blue, and then you can have the green ones, and you can have orange. Your yellows, oranges are usually more in your citrus, things like that. So if you kind of look at that, this will kind of help you. But that doesn't mean you can't put a green with a yellow, and it's just a matter of, especially if you're putting it in a diffuser, what do you want the room to smell like? You want to create your own concoction? You want it to smell like Christmas trees, or do you want it to smell like Thanksgiving? What do you want it to smell like? Do you want it to smell like bread? Find what you like. Okay. So what else can I tell you? Let's see. So the other compound that this has in here is savinine, which is S-A-V-I-N-E, or N-E-N-E. That is the component that helps in blemishes. Okay, so that's why it's good for the skin. So if you have a blemish somewhere that you really don't like, then to start using this, like it's in there again. If you've got a good moisturizer or anything going on, add a little bit into that skincare that you got, and it's wonderful for that. You can massage it into your skin with fractionated coconut oil or lotion. You know, you can use it after, even after a workout, because it's really good for muscle support. You can, what else? So muscle support, so let's go into more of the things that Blue Tansy can actually do for you, besides muscle support, besides an anti-inflammatory. It's an anti-spasmodic, it's anti-parasitic, meaning that it's good for parasites. So this is not, actually this can be taken 3 ways. Whoops, I almost dropped my bottle. Okay. You can actually, you can use it aromatically and topically, but not internally. You can use it as something for headaches. Again, for the anxiety, if you're using it in a diffuser, or you can just put it on the back of your neck, put it on your pulse points, someplace where you can smell it for a while, because it will linger for quite some time. I can still smell it. And yes, it is something that you can use internally, and you can use, put some underneath your tongue for allergies or for those seasonal threats. But you don't want to swallow it. You can put it under your tongue, swish it around, and then spit it out. Okay. You can use it in bath water for muscle support. Now, if you're using any essential oil in your bath water, it's really good idea to use Epsom salt with it. So what you can do is put like a 1/4 cup of Epsom salt on your in your hand, and you can put a drop or 2 of your oil that you're wanting to use. Put it on your Epsom salt first, then put it in the bathtub. And then you have something that oil will bind with versus just sitting and floating on the surface with the water, because oil and water don't mix, right? So this is a good way of doing. And it's really good for dry, itchy skin. So if you have those patches somewhere that you just, some of us have some really bad dry skin on our elbows, in this area, it's great for that. If you feel like it's a whole body experience thing, then put it in the bath water, and that will help you that way too. Plus, it's very calming. It's just a soothing, relaxing kind of oil, along with congestion. So take your bath, put some deep or Blue Tansy in there, and then if you want to, put some cardamom or some breathe along with it, and just smell the vapors, and then get that congestion going. Get it out of your chest. Because I know right now there's a lot of people with congestion, and unfortunately there's a lot of us being told that we're something different than what that just little congestion is, which is sad, but it's the way our society is now, and it's never going away. So we just have to live with it. So, so think about that bath water. Like this morning, it was like, well, let them take a bath. Here you go. In fact, I got some kids with some guinea pigs. No, they're not. The kids are the guinea pigs. They don't have guinea pigs. They're the guinea pigs. She says, I'm not a guinea pig. And I says, no, but you're my child guinea pig. Anyway, so I made something I felt like it was a flop. It was like had spearmint in it. And it's like, here, go take a bath. It's bubbles. She thought that was pretty good. Mom thought that was pretty good. Anyway, so what else can we use this for? So indigestion, how would you use it for that? Rub it topically right on your belly, right over the belly button. Fungus is another thing that can be used for. So where's the biggest thing that we usually get fungus at? Our toes. So this is another option outside of what we would normally think about, like oregano or melaleuca or tea tree. This is an option for that, because there's a lot of options other than what we would normally think about. Now, would I use this all the time for that? No, because it's a spendy oil. I would only want to use this for my skin, the things that where I could actually put it in something and make it go further, okay? Or in a diffuser if I really like it, because you only need 1 or 2 drops. Now, for most of us that have that wholesale account, which is nice, is when we buy products all the time. So when we do that transfer buying, your soaps, your shampoos and laundry detergent, and now we have dish soap. I like that part. I can say, yeah, I can say dish soap now. Yay. But when we transfer buy, we earn points. Those points can go into buying these products that are a little bit more on the spending side. We can use those points for it. So I do that because, well, I'm like you guys, if I can spend, if I'm already getting what I want on my orders all the time, I'm getting my bar soap, my laundry soap, my dishwasher soap, all that kind of stuff, then now I'm earning points, and I can go over here and buy this Blue Tansy that's $125, but I get it for free. I mean, it works in my book. I wish Fred Meyer and all these other people would do that. Well, wait, Costco does that, but they only give you 2% of whatever you purchase through the year. Some people think that's a great deal. I'm like, well, not unless you have a huge family, right? And that you're there every single week. I'm not there every week, so it doesn't really pay me, but I still have membership. But anyhow.
And you know what I want?
Go ahead.
The wholesale, $85.
Is it? Did it come down?
It must have come down. The retail, $113.
Oh, retail is $113 and wholesale is $85. Thank you for looking that up.
Hey.
See?
That's awesome.
I like it when things come down instead of going up, right?
Exactly.
Not like the grocery store.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, it costs how much for that now? Double, unfortunately. All right, yay, good. So $85. So yes, it used to be a little bit more than that. So thank you for looking that up. I hadn't looked at it for a while. What are some other things? So we've talked about dry skin, which is like your psoriasis, eczema, things like that. It can also be used as part of your insect repellent. Okay.
Ah.
You could, now there's different ways of being able to do that. So you can do the oil and water mixture of the spray bottle, right? But you have to shake it every time when you're spraying, you know, shake it, spray, shake it, spray. You can do it that way, or you can just put it in like a fractionated coconut oil, or you can make it into like a salve where you can just apply it to your skin. So a salve meaning like your, you can take the solid coconut oil, melted, and put some of the Blue Tansy in there, along with some other oils. I would think about, well, we have a Terra Shield. We could add a few drops of Terra Shield, which is our insect repellent. You could add a little bit more by adding, or add the Terra Shield, add the Blue Tansy, and make your own salve. Or you can make a spray with a carrier oil like your fractionated coconut oil. Or another option is using a roller bottle, a bottle with a roller top. And put you some fractionated coconut oil in there, put your oils in there, depending on if you're using a 5 or 10 ml bottle, and then you can just roll some on your arms. I have a dog at my feet. So that's another way of using it. So since it's good for skin, it's also something that you can use for rashes. You know, the eczema, and you know, it's the same idea. But it's something that we don't really think about, and I bet you it's really good for cold sores. What else can I say? All right, so for things like arthritis and muscle pain in that way, again, the bath water, you could put it on the areas that are affected. So like if you went and had really overdid the workout and now your legs are tired, use your Blue Tansy. And you can put it directly on your feet, on the bottom of your feet too, because it always gets to where it's going, right? Okay. Now on an emotional side, Blue Tansy is one of those that helps with helping us create an action or get us into action, because it's a calming and it creates that level, that lower that anxiety level when we get overwhelmed. We don't want to do anything. We just want to go crawl up in the corner somewhere in a ball and tell everybody to leave me alone, right? So this is something that can help emotionally to help get through that. And if you're doing affirmations or anything about in that direction, this is a really good oil to help you for that meditation and help you get through there. So would you like to have so here is a recipe for a spray for insects. It's 4 drops of Blue Tansy, 4 drops of Centronella, which we have now. Yay. 4 drops of lavender and 4 drops of eucalyptus. And put this in an 8-ounce spray bottle. And you want to shake it well every time you use it. Okay, so again, shake it, spray, spray, shake it, spray, spray. So there you go, 4 drops of each: Blue Tansy, Centronella, lavender, and eucalyptus.
How big is that bottle?
8 ounce.
8 ounce.
So that's I don't have one here. That's about maybe about like that, roughly. I'm like, you can't see. There you go. I'm not that far enough.
You're mixing the oils, but then what else is in there?
Just water.
Okay.
Yeah. Just water.
Okay.
Okay. So that's pretty much all I have. Now I do have a recipe here for a body scrub. Might as well give that to you. So you can do 10 drops of Blue Tansy, 1 cup of raw sugar, 1 cup of argan oil, or you could use fractionated coconut oil, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now, here's where you don't need to use the vanilla extract anymore. You can use our Madagascar vanilla that we now have.
Oh.
Yes. So this recipe is got to change because we now have Madagascar vanilla. So instead of a whole teaspoon, now our vanilla is pre-mixed with fractionated coconut oil because it goes a little bit farther this way, and then everybody can have some. And it's not as expensive as if we were to just have the vanilla. So 1 drop of an essential oil is usually equal to about 1 teaspoon of a dry herb. So instead of 1 drop, I would do 2 drops of the vanilla, Madagascar vanilla. Now, if that's not enough for you, you can always add more, right? Just always add a little bit, then add more than too much, and then you're like, can't take it out. But who doesn't like vanilla? Right? So you mix everything together in a large bowl, and then you store it in a glass container, not plastic, unless it's a BPA, which I don't have that in front of me. So there's different grades of plastic, not your typical plastic, but you can use a heavier, like a number 2 or number 3 plastic. Okay. All right. So I'll leave the rest of it up to Q&A, but that's all I have for Blue Tansy. Got any questions or something to add?
You said it was anti-parasitic too?
Yes, it is. And it doesn't have to be taken internally in order for that to happen.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is actually, because it's the understanding that, yes, I have a digestive system, but whatever I put on me goes in me.
Exactly.
So it's just that it goes through the bloodstream instead of directly into the digestive system.
Yeah. So Diana, do you put it on the stomach area?
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Okay. That's one oil I have, but I haven't used it much.
Really? I know I have it too, but I use it sparingly.
Yeah. That's why I like these classes, because I learn how to use things more.
Well, and that's what this is all about. This is to help you understand what you have at home. It's like, well, what do I do with it now? Because a lot of people will have an arsenal of essential oils and they've just not taught how to use them. And so this is what we want you to know is it something that you want? But a lot of it has to do too is do you like the smell of it? Because if you don't like the smell of something, you're not going to use it. But
Yeah, like
sometimes you
the
can.
cumin is the most god-awful smell I've ever smelled in
Which
my
one?
life. Cumin.
Oh, really? You don't like it?
No, that is like
awful. But see, everyone's different. So that's why you have to be, you have to love what you're going to use, because if you don't, you won't use it. But sometimes what happens though, is because essential oils will react to our chemistry. If you put it on you, it smells different.
Yeah, I just can't put it on me.
But
you know, I used to not like vetiver, and I love vetiver now. It used to smell like potatoes to me.
Okay.
But I love vetiver. It's one of my favorites. Okay.
So vetiver is one of those that's really very, very musty, earthy dirt. Literally, it smells like dirt.
Yeah.
And so it is something that takes a little bit of, you either love it or you don't.
Or hate. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's good to be able to blend stuff with it. And that's another thing that we can do. So some of the oils that we don't like, if we blend it with something, then it's a completely different fragrance. Just like making a perfume, same thing. When you blend them together, now you've got something that's going, you know, like this, and then it's a whole different aroma, which makes it interesting and nice at the same time. But cumin is one of those that you can cook with, and a lot of people have that. I have it in my kids. I use it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Use
What was that?
No, we use it.
Do you?
Yeah, the cumin. But this is so interesting. This is all, it's such good information.
Thanks. We appreciate that. So, you know, they're always adding more oils, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can learn those too. but that's what it's all for. And it's not that you have to have every single oil that comes out. It's just, even as a, you know, working the business, it's like, is it really something that you want, or do you want to at least have one so that someone is interested in it? It's like, I have it, and let me give you a sample of that. If that's an oil that you really like, let's try this one, okay? And tell me how you like it. It's not what I would like, but it may be something that you absolutely have to have, right? Especially coming into December with frankincense. So many people use frankincense, especially anybody like Asian or, you know, East Indian, all these people, they love frankincense because they use it for their face. Frankincense is great for their face. Now that's coming up. That's going to be a freebie this coming, well, tomorrow, with that 200-point order. Yeah. So, and our team call. You missed our team call last night, Mary, because we had Jody shared what she talked about frankincense and everything it does, and we were all typing other things like, oh, it's good for this, and it's good for this, and it's good for this, and it's good for that.
Wow.
When in doubt, use frankincense, right? Oh yes, totally.
So how much, if you purchase $200, you'll get it free?
Yeah, well, it's not really dollars, it's
PV.
points. So it's the PV value. So when you place an order, you look at that PV, which is the point value.
Okay.
Anything 200-point value plus will give you a free frankincense. So it's like Jody says, for 10 years, she has not ever paid for frankincense.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. So, and it's lovely. It's like, you know, it's like a lot of people will accumulate their points all year long. And then come Christmas time, they know that December is going to be a free frankincense. And before Thanksgiving, it's a BOGO, always. And then, so with that free frankincense, spend your points, get the things you need, and you've got all your Christmas done.
Exactly.
Yeah. It works very well. Yeah. So I love Christmas time because I've got myself into a whole lot of things we're doing. But anyway, I'll talk about that after recording. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Are we going to be out of the bees? Let's see. We'll go into breathe next time. In fact, I have to think about the blends because it's not just single oils. I was going to do single oils and then blend oils, but I think I want to go into breathe because this is the time of year for it. So let's think about breathe for next so it's 2 weeks from now. Well, actually not 2 weeks from now. So next Thursday at 4 o'clock, we will do another one, and it will be at 4 o'clock. We will talk about breathe, and I'll probably add another one in there. So next Thursday.
What's the date?
Next Thursday, December 2nd.
December, is that what it is?
Not this Thursday.
No.
Next.
No, it would be the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the 9th. I think that's
Yes,
9th.
yes.
Oh wait, here, let me look. Let me
weeks
look.
late, but it's the 9th. It's the 9th, the 9th.
Yes, the 9th, because yeah, it's next week. Next week, the 9th. So 2 weeks from, so I go every 2 weeks. So every second Tuesday, and then every 2 Thursdays. So this week is Tuesday, next week is Thursday, following week will be Tuesday, and then the week after that would be Thursday. So it's Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday. So it's 1 a week.
What
Okay.
time is Thursday?
So on Thursdays, it's 4 o'clock my time, which is going to be your Virginia now.
No.
Oh,
just
you'll be back
visiting.
home by then. So 4 or 5, it'll be 6 o'clock there in Texas. And I got it real quickly. Let me plug in my computer. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. So thank you. And for everybody that's going to listen to the replay, but I need to plug in my computer. So let me,